Here's my little explanation of how Snowden and Manning, the whistleblowers of the world in fact, have helped our security. This is by a game designer explained through the medium of game design. That's a little strange, but stick with it. You'll see what I'm getting at. So what are you doing in this game that we're designing? Well, you're going to play a role. And what role can you play? Well, we're using security systems as the basis of this game. So anybody who's attacking security systems. So you could be the Chinese government, Russian criminals, a terrorist organization, simply a political opponent, or a commercial rival, or indeed a member of the axis of evil. And what is the object of the game? Simply put, you're going to earn money by hacking your opponent's computer systems. He has various computer systems that you can attack, and they each have individual values. You can attack his government. You could attack a commercial organization like Amazon or Facebook, or Tesco, Asda, Walmart, or even your bank. Within this game, you have a series of cards and each has a track on it, and here's the one for your bank. You can see there's a 15-place track with the goal of $20 million at the bottom. This is the hack track for your bank. We're going to place a meeple on the first position as soon as this bank track gets attacked, and then as further hacking takes place, that meeple will move along the track until eventually it hits the 20 million spot, and then that computer system is compromised. That's $20 million in your score. But not all computer systems are the same. If we have a look at the Tesco, Asda, Walmart track, you can see it's much shorter. But the prize at the end of it is much smaller as well, only $10 million. But what about the government? Well, they have a long track. It takes a lot more effort to hack the government, but the prize may just be worth it. So let's move on and look at how we play this game. Now we're using deck building mechanisms here. That means you start with a small hand of cards, you gather more cards, and you build up a stronger deck of cards that you use to attack your opponent's computer systems. Now each card will have 4 areas of importance on them. The first is the value. This you use to spend to buy more cards. The figure in the blue triangle is the hack attack value. This value is used to attack one of your opponent's computer systems, and the value that's displayed in here is used to move the meeple along the attack track. The next section is the ability. This is an alternative use for the card, or if there is no alternative use for the card, it's simply flavor text. Lastly, we have the cost. This is how much you have to spend by playing cards from your hand for their value in order to acquire this card. This is the basic card from the system. It represents a bedroom hacker who's attempting to get into a system. Therefore, it's very cheap to buy because hackers are everywhere, and its effect is very minimal, only 1 point, because hackers aren't that effective. And here is your hand of cards that you start the game with. 3 very basic cards. Each has a spending value of 1, and would cost you 1 were you to buy this type of card. And the final figure is the hack attack value. Again, each card is only worth 1 to move a meeple along that attack track. Moving up from those basic cards, there are better cards that you can spend those initial cards to buy. So here's a better card. This is the individual account. When a hacker compromises a single user's account, it can be sold to criminals or spammers for a few pence. So this card represents that, and you can see that it costs you 3 coins to buy this card, and this card itself is worth 3 coins as well. But it doesn't allow you to hack any computer system. It has no hack value. Let's take a look at another card. Here we have the social engineering card. You can sweet talk your way into a company's system, and you can sell the passwords or use your access to dig a little deeper into their computers. So you can see that this is quite an expensive card. It costs you 6 to buy it. But it does have a value of 5, so when it comes back into your hand, you'll be able to spend it as 5 coins. But it also gives you a minimal attack of 2. So instead, like the previous cards, which only allowed you to attack 1 on the hack attack track, this one allows you to move your meeple 2 spaces up a single track. And here's an even better card. This one again costs 6 to buy, but it has no spending value. But it does have an attack value of 4, which is quite strong. Now this is the minor botnet, and taking over other people's computers lets you attack a system from 1,000 places around the world at the same time. Hence, the greater strength of attack with this card. So let's see how you use these cards. Now here I'm showing your bank. This is actually your opponent's bank. The terminology is a bit confusing, but your opponent's your bank, if you like. So let's play the first card from our hand. This is the Bedroom Hacker card, and it has an attack value of 1. Now there's no meeple already on this bank, so we'll have to put the meeple on the position 1 of the track. Now let's play a second card from our hand. This is another Bedroom Hacker, so we move the meeple along 1 more space because that's the attack value of this card. So we've managed to move this meeple onto the second space of the attack track. In subsequent turns I could continue to attack the bank, or I could choose to attack my opponent's government or one of his other institutions. But it wouldn't be much of a game if that was all you could do. So let's look at another card that allows us to defend our institutions. Here we have the Changing Passwords card. Changing your password on a regular basis can foil some types of attack. So if you look at this card here, you see it has a spending value of 1, costs you 3 to buy it, but the arrow at the top is now green. This means that you can move one of the meeples on one of your institution attack tracks back 1 space. That means you can unhack it. Because you've encouraged all the people who use your system to change their passwords, you've protected the system somewhat. Now you've seen the basic features of this game. How does this relate to Snowden and Manning? How does it relate to whistleblowers? Well, security, computer systems, governments have to be in the open. If it's truly secure, telling people that it's there and how it works is safe. If it's secret, then no one knows it's actually safe. With encryption methods, you can tell people that you're using a secure system. You can even tell them what mathematical formula you're using. It won't help them in their attack. If it's secret, no one knows that it's safe. If it's secret, well, you're probably just trying to hide some weaknesses in your own system. For instance, consider this. Some governments now are trying to force secret backdoor passwords into various secure systems. They've done this in the past, and it's always backfired. If you create a backdoor, it will get compromised at some point. And if there's an easy backdoor like this into a system, when it gets compromised, it'll be compromised big style. So it's better to not have any backdoors at all, whether it's for the good guys or not. If there's $1 million, $10 million being offered by rival governments to an individual to hand over those passwords, they will be handed over at some point. It's just not safe. Now stick with me on this. Whistleblowers do increase the risk to your system, be that a government or a computer system. They actually do create a risk, a danger, a problem. But it's a minor one compared to staying secret. Remember, if it's public, then people will have to react to that. If you've got a back door and then it goes public, well, they're going to close that back door. If you don't go public, they won't close that back door, and the bad guys will continue hacking it and using it, and just making the world a horrible place to be in. Remember, if it's secure, you have nothing to hide. Tell people that it's secure. Tell them how you've secured it. If you're hiding, you're hiding a weak security system. There's no other reason to do it. Let's go back to the gameplay. Here's the Snowden card. This could be the Manning card, or indeed any whistleblower card. And you can see it's slightly different here. Instead of a blue or a green arrow, we've got an orange one. That's because this whistleblower, this Snowden card, has a special effect, so let's read that. During your opponent's next turn, all their hack attack cards get a bonus of +1. So there's the risk. You've played the Snowden card. You're allowing your opponent to get a bonus when he attacks you during his next turn. But let's read on. On your next turn, subtract 5 from all of your hack tracks. And that's the benefit of a whistleblower. On your next turn, yes, you're going to be subject to more dangerous attacks, but after that, you get a bonus of reducing your hackability by 5. Let's have a look at what that means on the game board. Here's a hack attack for $20 million, and you can see that we start off with a meeple on the 12 spot. He only has to get to 15 to earn that 20 million. Now he plays the Snowden card, the whistleblower card, and his opponent attacks with a card with an attack value of 1. But here you can see we move the meeple 2 spaces because he gets that bonus of +1. The danger that the whistleblower exposed has been exploited here. The danger has increased. But let's see what happens on a subsequent turn. So, after your opponent's next turn, you can now move that meeple back 5 spaces on the attack track. So here we've moved it forward 2 with the opponent's turn, and then on your turn, back 5. The end result is that your computer system is now a lot safer. So you can see how the Snowden has had its effect. We had a short danger that did increase our chance of being hacked, but it was quickly closed because it only lasted 1 turn, and the end result is that we have a safer system. We've moved back the danger of this system being hacked. Now, this is a computer system I'm talking about within a board game, but it could easily apply to government. You need to hold the government in check. You need to make sure they haven't got any backdoors into your life, because if they've got a backdoor in, so have the bad guys. Now I've made my political point through game design. Remember, you can game anything, but not a red light.